Get your day started right. From our shack to yours, this is Coffee and Ham Radios. We are live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm back.
Well,
I saw how much y'all
might
missed
be
me.
temporary. Might be temporary.
Well, Telemundo hasn't returned H calls yet,
today.
so
Yeah.
Well, there's a time difference. That's
right,
the thing there.
right. We had no power, and we had no power for about about 12 hours, and the internet was out for about 36. The power was back the other night, so we have a hotspot, which is great for downloading stuff, right? Surfing the web. The download speed's decent. The upload speed is like 1 or 2 meg. And Julie wasn't even watching TV. And I'm like, get off TV, old woman. And I didn't really say that. And
Like, could you please? Never mind. Forget I even. No.
Really, like, go lay your ass down.
He's still talking, so we know he didn't say it.
right.
Right.
Still breathing through my nose. And yeah, she said, well, I'll turn off TV. I got a book to read anyway. So I tried, and it just, the hamster couldn't run fast enough. Couldn't run fast enough. I got in StreamYard here, and it showed me, and then when I tried to actually connect into the show, all y'all were just twirling black circle thingies. I never.
Yeah, we saw you try to
video.
come. We were going to kick you out anyway.
Yeah, I heard.
It's a good thing that you're a licensed ham radio operator, though, because you were fully prepared for the power outage and the storm situation, and you had your backup supply of food and electricity and internet. So you were good
I had
to go.
Cheetos and a hotspot. I was and coffee.
And DP, Dr.
That's
Pepper.
right. Yeah.
DDP.
So you had the Chins battery fired up, right?
I didn't even get to that. I was still using the 2 or 3 solar generators we have. I was going to bring in the Chins for overnight cooling in the bedroom.
Those things are cool, huh? Those generators. The solar gens.
Yeah, I got a couple of them, and none of the
Ryan,
ones.
right back at you, brother.
None of the ones I have are Jackery. Mine are Honest Chen's House of Fish and Solar Generators Inc. or
What is
whatever.
today?
Some
I
off-brand ones.
got a review of one coming out, and I think it's 2 days from now, Monday morning.
I think solar. I hate the name. It's a stupid name, but solar generators are a cool product.
So it
really
works
are.
exactly the same way as a gas generator works.
Yeah.
Gas generator doesn't generate gas.
Right. Right. So I don't
be
understand
pedantic.
what the hang up there.
The sun ain't got nothing to do with it unless you plug in a solar panel, and I guarantee you Muffy is not plugging in a solar panel when the power goes out.
Well, a
it's
solar
dark.
generator should have a charge controller built into it. It's not just a battery. It's
Right.
a bunch of stuff.
It is, and they're cool. They're very cool.
Like a generator is not just a gasoline-powered Harbor Freight motor. It's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, one of the ones I have has the wireless charging pad on top, a couple of USB 3 plugs, a USB-C power delivery plug. It's got an LED, flashlight kind of area
Most
light
important
on
thing
it.
ever, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it works fine. And the ones I have are only about 300 watt hours, I think. They're not monsters, but yeah, that's right, Jason. God put me in timeout.
Yes.
So Charles, how are you?
Just trying to recover from this cold, but it's hard to get stuff done. I have like no motivation, so I've got a video that's like 3/4 ready or filmed, and I just got a couple things to do left, and
You got to get your blue shirt on and get outside.
My blue shirt.
Professional fishing gear, yeah.
Yeah, I got a couple of those. Get
I bet
outside.
you
I
rock
like to
that,
get outside.
All the
that
shirt
coral,
hate.
don't you?
The coral. I've got the coral one too. Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
You remember good. Yeah, that was I had to purchase that when I didn't have anything to use one time. I forgot all my stuff.
Look at this. Thank you, William. I got it.
Thank you, William.
You got it.
Thank you, William. Much appreciated.
Yeah, so Chuck, no self-respecting man above the age of, well, crap, how old are you now? Would not have a coral PFG shirt from Columbia. It's just
I don't
it's
have
a
a coral
requirement.
shirt. I don't have a coral shirt.
You're not as old as Chuck.
But you have one
Barely.
you have one in salmon. Is that
No.
the color?
Mine's actually salmon. Is what it is.
There's only 8 colors in my vision.
Yeah,
Core
the thing
seven
is,
aren't
it
neither of
gives
those.
you a colorful look. You know what I mean?
And if it ain't, well, actually, I don't even have 7. I have I don't recognize indigo as a color or violet.
Isn't that the color of jeans?
Purple.
Like denim?
Indigo, yeah. Denim, indigo, yep.
Is that color? I called that blue.
What's the blue is from the indigo plant? Is when right? Isn't that what they originally used to make Levi's with?
I did not know that.
I
What?
did not know that either.
There we go,
Fashion
Richie.
needs to be remembered. Spoken Ape talks about denim.
Richie, thank you.
Thank you,
Richie.
sir.
I think this is much better than dancing.
Dances are still on the table. They're just by request only.
Oh, table dances. So Steve.
Oh, no, I did not say table dances. There will be no table dancing from any of you.
You've got room to do that out there. I mean, I can get the
I am
speedo
at
out.
the table.
He's at the table, man.
Speaking of table dances, nobody loves getting up on a table and dancing as much as a housewife who's had too much to drink, right? Too many Cosmos or
I've been to those parties.
whatever it is that they drink, and it's a recipe for disaster. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
yeah.
I just
Somebody's
don't
going to
understand.
get hurt. Either
Whenever I
her
see
or the
somebody
person
getting
that
up on
catches
one
her.
of these tables who's not a professional, I'm like, this is only going to end one way.
Yeah, somebody's on the floor crying.
That's right. Regretting her life choices and going, that son of a bitch doesn't listen to me. He's playing his radio.
I bet I still got it.
And look at this, Evan
I
Baccarat.
want
He's
the
asking
dance.
for the dance. Give me 1 second, and I will. Now I gotta find my dance
I'm
board.
out of moves.
Oh, Lord, Randy, come on.
I'm sorry, I did not expect. Jesus, there it is.
Well, see, Charles is in the. God, does it end?
He can't push that button while he's pushing the other buttons.
I guess not.
Yeah, I forgot my moves. It's been so long.
Evan, thank you.
Evan,
like 2
yeah,
shows,
thank
man.
you,
Come
Evan.
on.
You all right?
Much appreciated.
Thank you, Evan.
So, Ape, what about you? What are you? I know you are dissecting the 500.
Yeah, it's funny because those videos that aren't very popular, but the folks that are watching them are like, "Oh my God, thank you," which is awesome, right? And that's why I'm doing it for 2
Right.
reasons. One, selfishly, is the radio's got a lot of features in it, and so it's a lot to learn. So it's got a pretty steep learning curve. So this way, I can always go back and watch my own videos when I forget how to work the thing.
That's the only reason I make videos, brother.
Right,
You remember how to
right.
use YouTube at that time.
But the other one is I'm having fun doing it, and a lot of the folks who have the radio running into some of the challenges with messing around or testing with it and stuff. I think that part of the challenge is a lot of people get it and they put it in their car, but when you want to mess
Right.
around with it, it's tough to do when you're sitting in the car and the heat's on or it's hot out or whatever. So just having some fun with the radio. I really, really, really like it. But I say, fair point is I say that about every radio. So
Yeah.
but I'm
Well,
having
yeah,
I
fun.
we
haven't
love
met
them all.
many. I haven't met many radios I didn't like in one way or the other.
That's
I
me
mean,
too.
some of them are like we like you, like a redheaded stepchild or something. But,
Right.
You know,
Well, I can tell you I didn't like the MD80. Was that a TYT MD80 DMR radio?
yeah. Well,
I
there's
didn't
a
like the
lot-
400. We all got opinions.
Right.
Well, you got to keep looking trans. I think he's talking about McGoutnet, or it might have been it could have been the GoiterNet. I don't remember which one it was. But
Steven, what is? I'm sorry, Ape. I thought you were.
no, I got a bunch of these little T14s, and I've been playing around. I got a couple different mixes with them, and so
114?
yeah, the 114 size, so they're smaller than the 140 that we typically use. This is
Yeah.
something you would use for a common mode choke, or you could use it as in like a 9-to-1 or 49-to-1 on like a QRP type radio. And QRP, I'm talking like 510 watts. But just messing around with them. So I just put this together. We'll see how it performs. But that's it. Now I'm done.
I've got one of
Steve,
those
what about,
114s on a winder.
What you got
Yeah,
going on?
we tested it for the link dipole,
So-
right?
Brian's saying he's looking for a good 10-meter radio. Brian, I am looking for a good 10-meter radio too. I think there's a lot of radios in that space, and I think the one that probably makes the most sense is going to be the G90. not because it's a 10-meter radio, but because it does all the things and you'll grow into it for sure. There's the Radiolity QT40. It's channelized. It works very well, but you have to do a bunch of stuff that hasn't been invented yet in order to get it on the digital modes, and digital modes on 10 meters are where it's at right now. So I'm working on getting the QT40 on the digital modes, but by the time you buy the QT40 and all the kits you're going to need to do that, you might as well just get the G90 and the DE19 and call it a day. But they're both good radios. What am
Future
I working on?
proof, is that what you called it? I think that's
the thing about the
that's an excellent
QT40. The thing about the QT40 is that it's designed very much with like a CB in innards. And the challenge is that I don't know how many folks know this, but with CB radios, you have to have the microphone plugged in order to receive. Like the radio won't listen unless it's received. So your receive circuit has to be grounded out through the mic. And that introduces a whole new challenge when you talk about setting it up for digital modes. The other one is the mic doesn't have any audio out, so you have to use the connector in the back as well as a microphone connector. I really, really like the QT40, mostly because of the stylized interface for it and some of the things you can do with it, but I don't know if I could say it's a good 10-meter radio. I'm with you, Tio. I think the G90 is definitely,
just a little
for the
more
price
difficult.
point, there was going to be so much 20 watts, so they can get one of the little amps. You're still at a low cost of entry there.
Your first radio won't be your last radio, like we always say.
And Raphael makes a good point too. You know,
Yeah.
the 891 does the thing as well.
It does.
It's probably smaller than that QT90, right?
And you don't need to
891.
schlep an amp.
Yeah.
You don't need
Yeah,
to schlep an
QT90.
amp.
heavier though.
Yeah.
It
Probably
is.
heavier because it's built better, but it does way more though.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It does a lot more.
Yeah.
But
I don't
you
think-
talk
I don't
about
think there
future
is a
proof. I'd
10
say an 891 would be a better choice than a G90, just in future proof terms. He's
Yeah,
a
but you have to buy
technician
parts
now,
for
but
it.
Yeah.
There's no sound card on G90 either. But
well, yeah, okay, that's
Yeah, but that's pretty easy with the.
that's easy to do. You know, signal link or
Omni-rig what is
digi-rig,
it?
yeah,
Signal link? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or digi-rig.
and
I got a signal link for sale. We'll work just
you
great
still
with that FD891.
see, right? This guy.
He's got everything's for sale.
I know
Always
a
selling.
guy who's got something for sale that you want to buy.
How much for that awning you got there over your head?
Oh, this is $20.
How much for the women? How much?
you
for
must
the
have got
women?
that used.
I got it free at the corporate promotion.
Good, nice.
Jeez.
What I hate is when you take those things somewhere where there's sand and you get sand in the poles. You might as
Nothing
well
worse
kiss
than
it.
getting sand in your pole.
No, you might as
I
well
hate
kiss
it
it
when that
goodbye
happens.
because it's not going to out. The other thing I was going to mention, so I've been playing around with this amp. This is the Micro PA50. And there's a couple of things that I noticed with it. I was talking with the boys here, and we got nervous about the auto sensing feature that a lot of people promote, where they say, hey, you can just pipe a frequency in here and it will automatically switch the relay and work. And it does. I tested it out. The challenge is that when you key up your microphone on single sideband, there's a no carrier. It waits till it hears your voice to modulate, at which point it switches the circuit, which means that split second that it's switching. Tio had to explain this to me in a very slow, loud language.
At least
You're
6 times, yeah.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
transmitting into the ether. You're not transmitting into a circuit, and so that's not exactly good for your radio. So I went and did a bunch of reading on the internet, and a lot of people said that's bad, and they said that it, with an authoritative tone to their voice.
Sounded legit.
So I said, well, let me take a look at this keying circuit. And what I was worried about is I was worried about a high voltage on the keying circuit coming back into my 705 and causing mayhem. So that's why we had to do the mod on the MX50P, whatever the heck it's called.
MXP50M or something like that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. And
The silver one, the
Mayhem.
streak.
Mayhem. I like that.
yeah, well, so I just connected a tip ring sleeve plug in here, and I hooked it up to the voltmeter, and it was reading 4.5 volts. So that would be putting 4.5 volts into my 705. I said, well, what's going to happen? So I plugged the other end of the keying cable into my 705, and it instantly started transmitting.
Yeah.
So I
That's
unplugged
what
it.
you told it to do.
Yeah, I said a prayer. I plugged it back in. Well, it started transmitting without me keying it up.
Right.
So I
right.
prayed on it. I plugged it back in, and then I could just hear the relay in this thing click, 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 click. So the relay was engaging and disengaging. So a lot of people have what's called a keying circuit buffer that you can make, and so I was looking at that, but also in the 705 manual, it says that you need to put a diode in here on the load side. So you can't put it on the cable coming out. So I don't know exactly how I'm going to figure that out, if I'm even going to do it, or this might sit on the shelf for a later date project. It's cool and it's awesome and I like it, but I'm not sure it's the kind of thing I want to hook up to my 705 and have to send that back into the mothership for repair.
That whole discussion started when I mentioned something, and I was mentioning something totally different than what T.O. was talking about. I was talking about just using it, because once it's hooked up that way, you can talk on it, but usually there's a delay button for sideband because there's no carrier. That's what I was talking about, not the auto. Like my little RM Italy, I can manually change the bands. That one you can't though, right?
You can. You have 3 presses of the button.
Oh, okay.
Will manually change the band. That's the other thing it said, is that if you're on like 10 meters and you switch your radio to 20 and it goes down, no, thank you, Todd. And it goes down to 20, it'll automatically detect 20 meters, but it says it doesn't always engage the filtering correctly and you can get harmonics on it. So that might be $160 down the toilet. That's how much I paid for that. Exactly. I'm a little bit out of shape about it. I was like, that's a lot of Miller Lite and pizza, boy. But
right. So, Steve, what else have you got going on since we got sidetracked into 10 meters and then amps?
Yeah, I have a whole bunch of stuff I got to film. I am flush with Fusion radios now, so I got to set up a Fusion hotspot. So that'll be coming up soon. Yeah, I've got 2.
Well, I have.
And one of them's a loaner.
I have 2.5. So
the ATVing Ham in the chat here loaned me his FT70B, and then I picked up that FT5B at Hamvention that I need to play with. I haven't even opened the box on that thing. I'm not even 100% sure the radio's in there.
What's wrong with you,
it could be a bag of sand in there, like the Indiana Jones.
I've been ever so slightly busy. The house is almost ready to go on the market. Just waiting on like 2 things.
You missing a floor or what? Got a roof on it, right?
No, you see all this green here behind me? I want to keep some of that.
So do you have to break that into 2 properties through the county or something like that?
It's already broken into 2 properties. I don't like the property line, so it's worth it to spend the money to switch the property line and
get it redrawn.
Give me more of that and give them less of this.
Yeah.
And then I have a driveway up there. I have a little campsite up there in case I need to come here for emergency purposes. We were talking about backups earlier. I've got backup land now.
For that month of the year that there's no snow.
So in January, when it's too hot in Arizona, you can drive up to Wisconsin and relive the good old days.
I'm nowhere near this place until after the first frost is done, which is like April, May.
Well, it's more of a have it if you need it kind of scenario, right?
So what happened is I bought the house 10 or 11 years ago at the bottom of the market, and the market has gone up. And so I believe, and the sale price will tell this out. I believe that I can sell the house for more than what I paid for it and keep the land. So it's kind of like a pseudo investment, and then I might turn that into some camping space. Might come up here for field day and have all you all fellas here for field day. That'd be fantastic.
That'd be kind of cool. I would actually drive to Wisconsin for that.
But it would be like you'd have to get a hotel nearby, Jim, because there wouldn't be any like air conditioning or anything.
I have
a fan. Do you still have that Walmart? Do you still have the Walmart fan, or did you leave it at the hotel?
No, the Walmart fan is right back here in production, son.
He's using it.
But there'll be room for tent camp, and I'll even splurge and get y'all a porta potty.
Hey, I need 50 amp hookup, man.
I saw something the other day. The car Sewell. Now it's made for hatchback vehicles, but it's like a little 1.8 meter square tent that velcros around the hatch of your car.
Yeah.
So you can kind of
use your car.
Yeah.
Use the car for your bed.
Yeah.
Those are cool.
Richie's asking, where am I? I am in northwest Wisconsin. I'm in a town called Luck. I'm actually closer to the Minnesota border. I mean, like Minnesota's right there.
You could throw a rock and hit them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so I guess we should talk about what the topic of the show is. We've been here for,
sooner or later.
I'm
20
prepped.
minutes.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah, Steve is prepped. Well, field day is coming up, and a lot of people really, really get into field day. And so we need to talk about what are you going to do for field day? What kind of prep do you do? What do you take? What's an essential for you? I've done field day once. It was kind of cheating. We did it in the fire station parking lot.
That's not cheating. That's awesome.
But
I did it once.
but we had the fire station right there, so I could open the door and walk inside. Actually, we set the radios
Air
inside in the air conditioning and had the antennas out in the heat. But so field day's coming up next weekend. It's the last full weekend of June, is when it's on, and so I know a lot of people really just they make a huge production out of this.
Right.
So,
Well, they do. I mean, it's the biggest non-contest contest of the year.
I was going to say it's not a contest, right? Right? Isn't that?
Well,
thing?
the one thing they do, and I'm not going to call out any other organizations, is that they don't count anything on work bands, which I think is actually, to me, if you're doing points, is a contest, right? There's no other reason to have points than
Yeah, but I mean, regular ham
driving
radio
record.
has worked all states, DXCC. I do like the driving record. That's a good idea.
right, but no work bands, right? We'll pull up the rules so everybody can see what they are.
Yeah, and do we want to go over those first? I've got those ready. I can share those out.
Well, once you
Yeah,
get
I
the
think you need a
dates-
Rosetta
once you-
Stone to
Once
interpolate.
you go right
them.
down the list there, dates first. So
There's an
Next
awful lot of
weekend.
rules.
4th full weekend of June,
I just said
1800 UTC to
He's
2059 UTC.
It's like playing cards
So
with
there
my
you go.
brother's kids.
I never heard you say it.
But there's like rules around when
That's
you can
all right.
actually set up your station.
Yeah, that's what Chuck
I
was
can
just
only
saying.
hear. I can only hear through one ear. So
I want to say noon Eastern.
So it's an improvement from your normal. Here.
Right? He's got one
I'm-
ear
I'm
working
getting better.
at least.
I'm getting better.
Well,
So-
he was half blind in one eye and then he couldn't see out of the other one, right?
And that eye is still kind of sketchy looking. That's like his Terminator eye. I'm worried.
It's totally
that he's-
normal, dude. Totally
Skynet
normal.
is taking him
What bands,
over.
James?
What bands?
And get you back on thing. Yeah, what bands can we use?
Give it to him,
All
Chuck.
there they are.
160, 80, 40.
You got
20,
10 meter you
15,
can highlight too,
And 10 meter. Yeah.
and 6.
as well as
That looks like a
As
good
well
end
as
set halfway.
bands
I know
50
an antenna.
megahertz and above.
I know an antenna that would work really well for, 40, 20, 15, and 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's actually on my list. Is the Apollo would be the choice for a portable antenna. Absolutely, we'll get to that. You're jumping the gun. So this week, this month, this year, Jesus, I'll get it in a minute. This year, it's
Take your
next
time.
weekend, the 24th and 25th. It's always the 4th full weekend of June. It starts at 1800 UTC Saturday and ends at 8 o'clock, 2100 ish UTC Sunday.
I want to say that's
So-
noon Eastern, right?
Yes.
Probably.
No, that would be 1 p.m.
you'd have
Eastern.
to use a calculator. I'm not good at UTC.
1 p.m. Eastern. It's 5 hours for me. I'm in Central. So East Coast is an hour less. So yeah, 1 p.m. Eastern time. No. See, now I'm confused.
Hey, Marvin.
If only
Brian
someone had
Hammer.
a tab they could open and give us those times and
HAMRS.
a
hammers.
reference.
UTC time?
Yeah, I mean, I have a thing on the radio that shows both, so that's how I think Central is 5 hours off of UTC, so that's 1 p.m. for Central time, and that'll be 2
You know it's
p.m.
6, right?
Yeah, 2 p.m. for
Oh,
Eastern
Raphael's
time.
got you.
Does he?
The one time Jim forgets.
Here we go. There
Oh,
we
yeah,
go.
I know.
Oh, I didn't forget. I just wasn't going to do it.
I
Alexa,
saw
what is
a post.
1800 UTC in Central time?
January 1st at 12 a.m. in Universal Time Coordinated is December 31st at 6:59 p.m. in Central
I don't
Time.
even know what that was.
Yeah, that's not what we asked you.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
I'll
I
make a
saw a
sandwich.
post from Raphael, and he was asking for he said, "I'm looking for a graduate level textbook on amplifier or some overly complicated subject." And I'm just like, man, leave it to Raphael to want a graduate level book.
Well, that's the ARRL handbook, right?
I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not sure how you measure graduate level. I never made it that far.
Well, with a graduated cylinder, of course. I went to elementary school.
Come on, Abe.
He'll be here all week.
Speaking
Chicken
of which,
dinners.
it's Father's Day weekend. Happy Father's
Trial-
Day, everybody.
Try the veal.
Yeah, thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
And back at you.
Father's Day.
Could be
Hey,
bad day.
One thing I
Father's Day is
mentioned-
the day that you get to stand out in the heat and cook for your family.
Right.
Right.
That's right.
So the ARL's webpage, arl.org/field day rules. I'm not going to read all this stuff. The biggest thing here is that there's different classes. And if you've never participated in a field day exchange, this will have what class station you're running, whether you're single op, multi-op, whether you're on emergency power, whether you're on house power. Are you operating from somewhere other than your house? So, there it is.
But there's a lot of rules around the station designation and then the type of power that you're using, the number of transmitters, the number of people. I mean, you need one of those things with beads, not what you normally use, Jim, but to count or calculate how many things you're doing. The keeping track of the score, it seems like it's going to be a difficult thing.
Yeah.
The best thing about ham radio, though, you just key up on field day and you say, "Hey, what's my exchange? I don't. What is this contest thing? I don't know." And then you will get schooled. Somebody out there will tell you.
Somebody will school you.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it on 80 meters because they'll explain about their colonoscopy and their gout while they're schooling you. But yeah, so it runs for that period of time. So it's there's a lot. This is the classes. And then somewhere in here is the basic exchange. You have to send your section as well as your class of station. There it is. So, example, a 3-transmitter Class A station in Connecticut, which also has a GOTA station and the extra VF station, would send 3A CT on CRW or digital, 3 Alpha Connecticut on the phone. So, Alabama is its own section, and I think I'm a 1 Delta AL is my home station if you're not out in the field.
Well, T.O.'s stripping down over there.
Well, he's in the sunlight. He's got to be careful. He's not used to a whole lot of it.
Right.
But the exchange is short. If you're new to phone, if you've never done a field day or you're scared, you got mic fright going on, and you're a little anticipatory about keying up the mic, field day is a good day to do this because the exchange is super short. That's all you got to say. Write it down on a piece of paper and move on. There will be 10 million people talking on 20 meters tomorrow or next weekend, rather. So it's a good day. It's a good day to work on your mic fright.
Yeah. If you do want to be like official looking, you can print out their little poster and stuff too. They have a spot on their website for that also.
Yep. So,
and if you're going to be outdoors, wear your yellow vest.
Yes, got to have a yellow or orange or green, whatever you have.
And use like a red or yellow bow fang so people know that you're official.
You are official. Well, I'm looking at that green talk pod that Hayden just did a video on. I'm kind of jonesing for the green. I like the green radio.
Well, T.O. just did a video. It's killing it with that. And they contacted me, and I was like, Now I'm sitting here kicking myself.
I'll kick you. Just
all right. I probably need it.
500.
Yeah.
What's that?
You're too busy worshiping that 500.
He is.
Yeah. I got the 500. I actually have it sitting right here.
Where he can covet on it?
Yeah, where I can just stare at it.
Inappropriately touch it?
I have seen you looking down. I was wondering what was going on.
It's the 500.
So.
And Cliff is correct. If you guys just read what Cliff says here.
Yeah.
That's right. Smash that thing like it didn't make the sandwich you told it to make. Like it owes you money.
Hit it 3 times.
So some of the other things to think about for field day when you're making your list, and I would suggest you make a list because there's a lot of pieces that I would want to bring. So radio parts, stuff like batteries, because if you're going to go out and operate, you need to have some batteries, at least 1 or 2. If you're going to operate on a big 100 amp hour or something like that, that's fine. If you're on 20s, I'd probably have 2 or 3. Because
or some solar panels, right?
Or and some solar panels, absolutely.
And
you get extra power, extra points for that.
That's right.
Do you?
It's not
you're
a contest,
working on
though.
Emergency power.
Oh, emergency power.
It's not a contest.
But if you're portable, isn't the assumption that you're working on emergency power?
Kind of, I would think. Well, I think there's a category for sitting in your vehicle
power too. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can have regular power.
So batteries, because nothing would be sadder than going out somewhere to hang with your buddies and do field day with your 1 6-amp hour battery that you smoke after an hour and a half.
I'd take a multimeter, and I would also test all my cables before you go, right? Make sure you have all the adapters and plugs and all that stuff. Because there's
That's
nothing
next
worse
on the
than getting
list.
setting up and then realizing you forgot the adapter.
Well, and right after batteries, your coax, your primary coax,
Nice.
parts to fix your coax, like Apes just said, connectors, crimpers, emergency
Adapters.
coax prep tools, a meter. If I'm out on field day doing battery power, I'm going to have an inline power meter so I can keep an eye on the current draw on my battery and know where my battery's going. You know, on the off chance that I'm going to be the one guy to get to talk to Antarctica on field day, I would be very irritated if my battery crapped itself right at that moment. So with one of those inline meters, hook your station up from the battery to the meter and then your station. Keep an eye on your power draw on that battery and know when it's time to swap that thing out. What do you call those things? The little power pole bus gadgets, you know, where you have multiple power pole connectors. I call it a power pole bus. There's probably a better word for it.
I think they call it a power distribution unit.
Yes.
There you
yes.
go.
PDU.
There you go. A PDU.
That actually would
PDU.
be a good one for field day, huh?
Yeah.
I have
Well,
multiples
if you're-
on my battery box, but sometimes that's not enough even, probably, if you're really going to get crazy.
Well, if you're
This is
going to run
probably a
a
hey,
2
Thump,
meter
this is a
station or something.
TO question in here. Somebody's asking if
Thump,
you can
sir.
get the GPS. I think it was Lee, out of your phone into your Windows laptop. You can if you have an internet connection. If you don't, I'm not exactly sure how you do that.
I haven't tried to do that because I'm, trying not to reveal the location, the top secret location of where I am.
That's right.
This is actually just a green screen.
You're really
Really?
inside in the studio.
Really, really good lighting off to the left here. My left.
Todd, right? Fuses. I'm getting to it. You guys are hitting most of the stuff I have.
Can't do it without you.
More
You know,
coax, an antenna
big thing-
system. So
A big
go ahead,
thing with
Chuck.
generators. Big thing with generators. I was using my generator a couple times camping and stuff. You need to ground that thing. There's usually a ground.
Yep.
On the side of that. Put a ground stake in the ground and ground it. And then there's also a toroid setup. You can. I think Kyle posted one time, and I should have kept that. But
The AC.
just grounding mine helped a ton. Because you will get noise from your generators a lot of times, even
Right.
like the Hondas and stuff. And if you're using like a really noisy generator, good luck anyhow. But
So your antenna system is another thing. Decide what you're going to carry. And Steve mentioned one already.
extras.
Extras, exactly right. And I would totally bring 2 or 3 antenna systems.
I have like 3 Apollos set up already.
Right. A Mercury, an Aries, an Apollo are all good temporary antennas. I would probably go with an Apollo. What are you going to use for your primary antenna? Are you going to bring a DX Commander Rapide or an Expedition or something like that? That's fine. You can skis 2 meters out of a DX Commander-ish.
If I was
You
going to
may
get serious,
want a Sirius 2 meter 440 setup
the
too.
Chucky Hex for sure.
So think about antennas. Are you going to carry an HT or 2? Right? Are you going to set up a 2 meter 440 station and try and work 2 meter 440 contacts?
Nice.
Although those aren't field day bands, though, are they?
It didn't say
Yeah.
it on that sheet you had shared out.
They did.
No, it said 50 megahertz and above, though. So I don't know
Yeah.
if that included.
Yeah, it's not too.
So you
many.
can,
Yeah,
just not on a repeater.
yeah, simplex. But so that's where I would bring my 2 meter vertical. What is those about a full wave 2 meter antenna, something like that. You might want to.
J. Cole.
Yep. Or J-pole. I'm a big fan of J-poles. Those things
Isn't
work
there like a
great.
classification for QRP and stuff like that too?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
A lot of folks are like, "Don't do QRP. Don't do it."
Well, on
It's hard to
field
beat
day-
people out. Like I did that field day thing on my little trip last week. I couldn't beat anybody out because everybody was running power.
Well, the thing is, if you can find a spare piece of band to camp on,
Which is hard.
right, but you could be the guy that works the pile up with your 5-watt QRP station.
Mosquito repellent's a great one.
Yep. It's the
Sunscreen.
little things you don't remember. Oh,
And
sunscreen. Yeah.
Thump's talking crazy over here. You need to take your medicine, son. I mean, come
No,
on.
Thump is.
No,
He's right
no,
with the Lord.
No.
Thump and I prayed on this.
No.
We the church.
Well,
of
you
the
need
big
to go back
expert.
and pray right because you prayed wrong. That's what I'm saying.
Well, your
Sunscreen.
antenna should already be
Banana into
ready,
your
to
life.
tell you the truth.
Something I learned at Dayton. Bring a freaking baseball cap because I was red as
It's a
you
baboon's
with props.
ass.
Yeah,
a
I wish you'd
baboon
had that
ass.
flex
That's right.
cap, huh?
Huh?
Too bad you didn't have that flex cap before you went.
I still don't have that flex cap, and I've said words to Michael.
And you went on the stream. You went on Kyle's flex stream too.
Right. I said it on Kyle's flex stream. Yeah, I'm still waiting on that baseball cap.
Since it's not a contest, you got to look for the multipliers, though.
Right. Sunscreen, a baseball cap, first aid kit. First aid kit. Make sure you got that. Water, hydration, not just beer. Because you're going to be outside. If you do a full, field day setup where you go into the wilderness and set up everything, you're going to be outside a lot. Don't neglect hydration. So
Yeah, that's why I posted earlier. You need your beer cooler.
That's right.
Miller Lite.
Yep, get yourself a
I
nice
mean-
little cooler full of Miller
Because
Lite.
that
You'll be
doesn't
good to go.
dehydrate you.
Well, Chuck, it's almost water. I mean,
Well,
it's
that's-
close.
that's
Well,
true.
here's
That's
the
true.
ignorance talking, folks. Just
I don't know of any water that won 6 gold medals.
that's right. It also got a silver one, but I don't talk about that.
This
but
is
we'll just
Jim's
focus
right
on the
here.
6 golds.
Jim forgot to take that to Dayton, too.
So Tio does have the Leaning Tower of Luck over there, but
Yeah.
Oh, look at that thing.
see, I don't really know if it's leaning
Oh,
or if that's just like one of those cameras that they use to make
Like
the Earth look
Batman.
round.
Like
You know what I
Batman.
mean? Like
It's a round Earth camera. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
do they call
medication. I mean, if you're going to be out there for a while,
Oh, yeah.
Medica-
If you're
aspirin,
spending the night and
ibuprofen.
stuff.
yep.
Aspirin. Yeah.
Make sure you bring your
Bourbon.
blood pressure medicine, your heart pills, your Betis pills.
Yeah, I'm going to take my Yesu bourbon flask that John gave us.
Nice.
That's right. How are
Well,
you enjoying that Yesu bourbon?
It's fantastic.
But it's got to be a certain type of coffee mug, right? So,
What about tools? You guys take tools and stuff out there with you?
Oh yeah. Well,
you have to
I
take
kind of
tools.
yeah. All the Coax kit, screwdrivers, wire cutters, strippers,
Jim may have to rebuild his antenna. That he
and I'm
built.
talking good strippers,
Out
not
there.
them cheap ones.
I think we talked about Kyle. Like Kyle, he goes out there and he's got an Easy Up. He's got giant like
got some kinda-
21-inch screen monitors. He's got a
Flex.
rack system that he takes out there full of computers. He's not playing any games when he goes out there.
I wouldn't
Right.
go that far. That's way too, that's not really what you would do. Well, I guess if you had to do it for years, for days and on end, maybe.
I was wondering where Tim was going with that, Jim. I was like, what?
Hey, Tim posted it, man. I'm sharing it. He's right.
No. You said TP. I'm like, I didn't know what butt ribbon was.
Oh, you
Oh.
did.
He got me. He got me.
TP. Need your TP?
I thought Tio went all natural and used the leaf. Used like
Oh yeah, you see all these leaves I got?
Yeah,
Baby?
just-
I
just-
don't need no toilet paper.
just don't use pine needles, and you sure you'll be all right.
Checking TO out.
Yeah, and the monitor stuff, that's not a terrible idea. It's more power you got to deal with and more wires. I don't know that I would schlep all that.
If you're
I
gonna
just
do it,
work
do
on
it
the-
up.
Do it on a laptop. The Easy Up is a good idea too, because that way you can.
Oh, you got to have Easy Up or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Unless
but I
you're
mean,
in
you're
something.
practically operating indoors at the time you get done with all this stuff.
Chuck,
Well,
Chuck,
yeah.
my friend, what
What?
kind of grill are you bringing to field day?
What kind
That
of
was
grill?
that's
I've
the
got
last
a,
one on my
I've
list.
got one of those. I got one of those portable smokers, pellet
Sweet.
smokers, and then I've got a Blackstone that I could bring.
The firemen can cook. It's like a science.
We don't mess around.
Firemen-
The guys like Frank thinks they can. They're the only guys that can cook, but he ain't ever he'd never make it in a firehouse.
That's right.
I'm taking my air fryer.
Air fryer. Yeah, you know what? I'm kind of
You ain't doing field day.
I'm kind of believing in those things.
You've got to go to the crochet barn with your wife on field day. You already told me.
Yeah, if I do anything, I'll probably just go out back and set something up and play around out in the backyard. That way, I got my garden hose in case I need a sip of water.
Right.
If I get too hot, I can go inside and sit in the AC and watch. There'll probably be some NASCAR on or something like that. Yeah.
So technically, you could set the station up outside and then do like remote FTA from your couch inside. That would
Yeah,
still be
and
cool.
you can
right.
set it up with the battery power and stuff like
not?
that. I think at the beginning of the pandemic, they had a home operation. Before then, you weren't allowed to operate at your house. So you're actually allowed to operate at your home shack now. which is cool.
Maybe
and
you
then you can
always
do
could, couldn't
FT8
you?
and all that stuff.
I thought, well, since
I
I
thought you always could. I thought.
well, my first field day was 2020. I got my license in 19.
If I ain't sending
At the end
something
of
in,
the
they don't
year,
know where
so
I'm at. I'm working from, right?
Jim's a COVID ham. Not that we.
I'm a
shun
pre-COVID
people.
ham, son, and you're
We don't-
judging. I hear the judgment in your words.
Dude, I saw that website you look at. They were saying it's been around since 18.
That you're confusing it
That's
with
how
your
old
Flat Earth
Gary is.
website.
Half you guys don't even know what hibachi is, right?
I know what a hibachi
I know what
is.
hibachi is. My neighbor had
All
one
right.
when I was a
Just
kid. It
making
was
sure.
awesome.
Those were good back in the day.
Now, is it propane or charcoal or wood pellets? What are we talking?
Oh, no, see, Kruk is on
Oh
point.
yeah.
On point, son.
Yeah, I want to go. I wanted to go do field day with Kruk.
I'm totally, yeah. That would be cool.
I don't have a 40-inch smoker at home.
40-inch
Well,
smoker. I think
maybe
it's like 40.
36-inch.
Colin, you're exactly right. We did mention sunscreen and a baseball cap for those of us who are. And you're going to be outside for a while, so you need to think about it.
The fondue. There.
Don't forget your fondue or your Korean
He's
barbecue
probably
grill.
I think he's got that mallet in his rig. Probably stays there.
Scott's got a point of freedom seed dispenser for those downtimes.
Every day.
Depending
you know what? I think
depending
I'll
on
do-
where you are.
How about a
I like to do
scottle?
them flatbirds. Maybe I'll do a flatbird out back.
You guys ever use a scottle? Let's see if
No.
Overlanding for Fun knows what the scottle is, because those things are. It's basically a plow disc that they make the hole in the middle. They fill the hole in the middle. Looks like a big wok, and then you put a little Coleman burner underneath it. What's cool about it is you cook in the middle, and then you cook what takes the longest, and then you move it out, and you start cooking other things inside, and you just keep moving things to the sides because it just keeps them warm. But they want some god-awful amount of money for those things. Todd says plow disc. Yes, that's exactly what it is. But they charge you way more when they call it a scottle.
Todd's also saying he prefers to work with wood.
I mean, we're not judging, man. You know.
If you like wood, you like wood.
Yeah, you need
Or towel. You need.
Erdem was saying, and you need a semi or a trailer, a school bus to carry everything. Yeah, I mean, man, a lot of these guys, if you look around YouTube and look at field day videos, and I think I've seen several of them that are. I mean, they come in a motorhome, they got pop ups, they got 14 station cooking setups. 5 or 6 operating stations for the radio stuff. I mean, they do bring radio stuff, but
amps.
I mean,
Bring your amp with you.
yeah. Run that bad boy off the motorhome power.
I got 7 kW in that for that part of it. It makes very little noise.
You don't have to bring all that stuff. You can bring a disposable grill and some burgers and hot dogs and call it
Bologna
a simple
sandwich.
creature.
In a pinch, just get yourself a bologna on a tater roll. Right?
Bologna, no. Negative, Batman.
I can't
Crazy.
see Ape even eating that. Tell you the truth, I know this.
Listen,
I
Mr.
love
Fancy,
bologna.
I can't stay in
Do
this
you?
cheap hotel that Jim and T.O. were staying at. I got to
Right.
stay in the
I love
Marriott
I love
Suites
bologna.
Deluxe.
Dave loves his vegan bologna.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's one thing I would say is leave any vegans at home.
Yeah.
That is a surefire way to ruin. No offense to any vegans. There's a time and place, but I just would think that I
Yeah.
wouldn't do it.
Coffee, cold drinks.
Gatorade type
Jason,
stuff.
I agree with you. Carolina barbecue is, I feel, some of the best.
So we were talking a little bit about coax. What kind of coax are you guys going to use?
RT-174, I want all the loss all the time.
8X.
Yeah, I'm
8X
thinking
is what
of.
I use most of the time.
I was
What do you
looking
use,
at.
Chuck?
8X is what I use.
8X?
Like,
Yeah,
I think
same.
90% of the
I
time.
use 8x too. Don't shun me, bro.
What are you looking at? You said you were looking at.
Well, I got a couple pieces of 316 that I use in 174. But I was actually looking at buying a bunch of this RG400. I'd have to get a crimper set and all that stuff for it because buying it pre-made is just too damn expensive.
And
but
I
the
guarantee you it's
RG400
never the right length.
If you buy the 400, you got to buy that stuff that's like the flexible stuff.
Yeah, not LMR 400, RG 400. Oh. So it's smaller. It's like
okay.
I don't know.
I
Quarter
I
inch
bought
or
some
maybe 3/8.
LMR. It was called LMR 400 from What's the company that has the green writing on there? Is it, I forget the name
ABR?
of that. ABR, yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that stuff, I tell you what, was easier to work with than 8X for quad. It's big, but that's what I have up on my tower for the parts that move. I want something flexible up there.
Let's see if I can get this Coax over here I bought.
Get it over here.
I mean, this
Jason
stuff is
said
basically
you don't
a piece
leave
of
the
rebar.
vegans at home, otherwise there won't be anything to eat.
Scary. LMR 214.
I don't know what it is. This is some M&P cable that I bought, but this stuff is like a piece of dang old rebar. I'm not even going to try to
Right.
bend it.
That's kind of what I use for my long runs.
Yeah, see, I would not carry any of that to field day. I have extra. What have I got? The RG213.
This stuff you would get a hernia carrying it around.
The DX Engineering version of LMR 400,
Hold
which
on,
is
it's
great.
got words. It's got words on it.
And I'm not carrying all that to field day.
Ultraflex 13. UL Ultraflex 13.
Jaron makes a
Oh,
outstanding point.
Yes, he does.
Where would you
I
get
got
one of
mine.
those?
You would get one of those at coffeeandhamradios.com. And we are down to about 10 or 12 in stock. So if you want one, you need to hit it.
We
need
are
to
too
hit it.
late this year, but we need to make a field day sale next year. We got to get a reminder.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody's got to put that in their calendar.
May.
Somebody see how he just says things like we all got to do.
And what I mean by we all, I mean
Y'all.
we all got to do this.
Both y'all.
Listen, I'm the
bottom-
idea guy. I'm not.
Both y'all.
I'm not good with the administrative.
Both
stuff.
y'all bottom desk people, the bottom window people,
Bottom window.
People-
Say bottom desk. That's you.
people
Especially
people
the bottom
who
right
work.
guy.
Damn it, people who work, right? Us shipping,
Hey, I work.
website, and then decision making.
Leadership.
Yeah, I'm going to need you to come in on
Right,
Saturday.
Right.
Right.
I radiate leadership.
Radiate something. Let's see. We had a couple other things. Band filters. We haven't hit that yet. But,
Yeah, Jason.
Yes.
okay, let's
Oh,
get
yeah.
off the booze,
No.
guys.
No.
Band filters. Rod has got a point. If you are operating in a multi-user environment,
Yeah.
you're going to need some band filters. So, Ape, you look like you're about to say something really
I'm not.
smart.
I'm
okay.
What?
I thought he
86.
was. He looked like, unless his wife was yelling at him.
He was looking for his collection of little yellow toroids when somebody said band filter.
Right.
Well, I was going to
Excited.
actually pull up my band filter that I made that doesn't work right. I've got to strip that thing apart, and
That's a good example.
some of the comments are hilarious. I need to rip that thing apart and rebuild it, but I probably won't have time to do that before.
So
No, no,
Rod's
I
asking
know.
what would we use. So there's two that I know. QRP guys makes a kit where you can make a QRP type. It stops the other bands from coming in, but it's got the appropriate power handling to get QRP signals out, which is important. And then what's that one that comes in the metal box? Is that Palomar?
I think Palomar has some Palstar, maybe.
Alstar?
But here's the thing: if you're going out and you're operating solo, you don't need it, right?
Yeah.
And it's really more if you're going out with a group of people or at the club or any of that kind of stuff. And if you are going out with the club, go ahead and post it in the chat and drop a link. Maybe we'll pull them up.
Where's your club?
Yeah, I checked the club that's close to me, close-ish to me. They're not doing it this year. So
That's the
we'll-
Omaha
They're not.
Omaha Amateur Radio Club
Yeah, so I was a little surprised by that, to be honest with you.
or Lincoln.
But I don't think they did it last year either. I did go years ago to their field day, and I got out and walked up and looked around. And I'm not making fun; it wasn't the best setup, so I left. But some clubs do a really fantastic job with their setups and have a lot of cool stuff.
Not South Dakota Dan, but San Diego Dan says Morgan Systems makes some separate bandpass filters.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a bunch of them, and you can make one,
Well,
Don's
maybe.
saying the K5RWK website.
Okay. Why don't you pull that up?
I'll see what I can do. What is he saying? K5RWK.
K5RWK. Someone mentioned weather radio and some tarps.
Wild kid.
Probably
Someone keep
a
the
good
sun off
point.
of you. My laptop's
Yep.
on fire right now.
Yeah.
No, bring some
Raphael,
patience for
see you, buddy.
lids, Darren. That is absolutely correct.
Todd will be operating with, I guess that's
K4.
Lakeland, Todd. K4LKL is the club he's field daying with.
Yep. I'll be down at W9WAR.
Doug is going to be in Superstition Amateur Radio Club at
nice.
Lost Eden, Arizona. So is that up? Do you guys go up on the mountain, or is that just what it's called because it's close to Superstitions? That would be cool. Stephen Reynolds, Dry Socks. That's a good name for an amateur radio club, too. I would probably say some gentleman's powder would be a good thing to have in your kit.
What? Gentleman's powder.
The doctor, what is it? Dr. Gold Bond. That's it.
Gold Bond, yeah. There's another one
I'm
called
telling you
Monkey
right now,
Butt, too.
I'm telling you,
Anti-monkey
don't buy it in the green bottle, the extra strength.
It's
a little, it's a little too much, if you know what I'm saying.
It's a lot of
strength.
That's meant to go on like feet, right? You know
Yeah,
that.
yeah. If you put it on anything sensitive, you're in trouble. You're in trouble
Yeah.
fast.
woo.
And it doesn't wash right off because like it clumps and makes a paste
Yeah.
if you try to wash it off with cold
It helps
water.
it absorb. Every time you wash it, it makes it absorb. Chuck, we handle that like a hazmat. We dry brush it
Yeah.
off first,
That's right. You gotta
and
dry
then
brush
deluge
first.
it.
Right. You need like a squirrel hair brush or something like that to brush it off before you.
Boudreaux's butt paste. Yeah, I would say so. Toilet paper. I mean, don't ever underestimate personal hygiene and comfort when you're
Well, you
going
want
to
to
be out
keep
for a
everything.
stand.
You want to keep everything
That's
fresh.
Right?
You want to keep
Right.
it fresh, but the extra strength is not a good idea.
Monkey butt. That's the one. Yeah, I knew I'd heard
Monkey
something
butt.
like that.
Hey, look, we
we
just
got
got
a
somebody
special guest.
joining.
Crack it in here.
John Hummel's going to be at the Melfort Repeater Group.
We got an expert.
Well,
We got an
Look
expert
at that.
helping us out.
We do.
what's up,
He
JK?
looks like he's totally relaxed today.
Oh, I am.
First time in a while.
One of those
Okay.
days in Wisconsin,
wow,
man. You got to be
he's
outside.
excited too.
Look,
Oh, I am.
I'm in my sips and smokes lounge. Why would I not be?
There you
right.
go.
Relaxed?
Very good.
Finally got a day off, huh?
Yeah, I do, but it's a birthday day, so it's a good day.
Happy
you go.
birthday.
No, not my birthday.
Oh,
Not
okay.
mine.
Just going with
But
the
whoever.
Spawnlings.
Nice. Welcome, John.
Thanks. Thank
Are
you.
you doing field day?
I am not. My wife, I think, did this on purpose. It happens to be the other child's birthday that day, so I believe she set that up on purpose. I'm not. We're trying to do it only if there was some scientific way we can prove that she did or did not do it on purpose.
That was like one of the guys says, we have these big monitors in the fire engine, you know, that told you how to get to wherever you were going. And he goes, if only there was a way that we could push a button and it would tell us where to go. And we're all like looking at each other like, oh my God. It's sitting, he's the captain. It was right in front of him. It's like,
What do you guys
come on,
do
dude.
before Google Maps? We used Maps. No, before Google Maps.
We had
We had map books.
run
We used to go
cards.
map
to
books.
the triple
Run
A, the
cards.
3As, and they would give you a printout like in a spiral thing that you could flip, and they would show
A
you the route
triptych.
wherever you
That's a
were going. Yeah.
triptych.
Well, we had run cards if we were in the firehouse, but we also had run books, which I redid once I got there because you couldn't read the old ones. But and today I'd be able to do a way better job. But oh well.
I think Tio's location is near my secret location, my bat layer.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know that.
Nice.
It's right over there.
Yes.
So I figured you were probably going to do some kind of field day or something. I didn't realize you weren't doing anything. Had a lot
Yeah,
of ideas.
We actually, there's a group that I'm actually working with, and it's kind of a mentoring group that I'm working with. So I might get out on one of the 2 days, depending on what it is on there and stuff like that. But it's actually a group. It's kind of a grassroots program that I started in my area here, where what it is we're doing it through community outreach, through our schools and everything like that. that we're actually taking people and kind of giving them an exposure to all the different modes of communication. So not just amateur, but like understanding CB, MERS, GMRS, FRS, Marine, and scanning and everything. And part of that amateur thing is to kind of do a mentoring thing with them to kind of show them what it's like for that whole thing. So we're going to try to get together that day, but nothing guaranteed.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
It's kind of fosters it, but it's like, I know a lot of people use field day as a contest thing, but we're trying to do it as like the educational aspect.
And that's what field day is supposed to be, really, right? You're supposed to put up this big thing, and people walk by like, "Oh, what are you guys doing?"
Spectacle.
Right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. And let's be honest, Tio can back me up on this. Winter field day just kind of sort of sucks for us up here.
Oh yeah.
You reckon?
Yeah,
minus 10.
Yeah.
It was only minus 10 this year.
13 that day. It wasn't bad.
Yeah. That was the day you could throw boiling water in the air and it would turn into snow.
Possibly.
That's a dangerous thing to mess around with, though. I've seen people get scalded not doing it appropriately.
Yeah.
Well,
You're not supposed to throw it straight up over your head.
Or like in your face.
Yeah.
Well, we are in Wisconsin, so it pretty much is like, here, hold my beer and watch this.
Abe, I mean, it's also right. It's a Darwin selection moment. They're either going to do it
I still have
successfully,
all my fingers. I'm good.
or they'll remove themselves from the gene pool. So either way, it's kind of a win.
Does Miller Lite freeze outside in Wisconsin?
Yes.
I'm sure it does.
I'm sure it does. 90% water.
Surprisingly, supposedly beer with the hops and everything will not go slush. It will either freeze or will there. Now, that's what someone told me. I have not really partaken in it. I don't drink too much beer after the Tilt-A-World incident of 99. And we'll just say at that point in time, an acquittal is not a conviction.
Right.
Exactly right, John.
Right.
Yeah, there's other thing you have to worry about. If you take a bottle of spirits and you put them in the snowbank out here, you don't drink it.
No.
Why not?
Because it'll freeze you from the inside.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, got you.
Yeah. Because it's minus 13 is not 0. Minus
I
30
thought
is
the
not
most
0.
important safety tip from living in the north: don't eat yellow snow, is a big one.
The snow refreshes fast enough here. Yellow snow doesn't last.
It depends on what you're into, I guess. But I mean, you probably could.
No shame.
Could be high in iron.
Yeah.
Right, potassium.
Rusty snow.
Yeah.
It's a little brownish yellow.
It's like that old joke.
It's not lemon snow ice cream. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, never eat the lemon snow.
It's not. You lied to me, honey. I'm a big Italian.
She's not home, is she?
That's
She's
always
not
the
home,
joke.
is
in the house.
She's not home, Mo. She's out shopping for
For the birthday
stuff.
party.
John, what's on to have a just keep it somewhat close to the topic. I mean, we do love our squirrels here, though. But what's on your to-do list? What's your prep, your must-have for field day when you do field day?
Here's what I've always done, because I always look at field day was, that kind of the whole grassroots of like it being an MCOM thing. What can you set up and have fully running to effectively communicate in 30 minutes? That's how I always look at field day.
Right.
Ham goals, nice.
Smoker,
Right.
easy up.
Well, that's the other 30 minutes.
That's
It's
the
an
other
hour-long
30 minutes.
process, it's it. But I usually will make sure the radio's good. The power supply is good. I try not to use generator, because generators, while they're smaller and more affordable these days, they tend to be more noisy.
Right.
I have to say that I've gone to a certain big box club store that may begin with an S and end an Amps Club. But what ends up, they had a nice generator, and I was looking at it, had a friend that bought one, and he's like, it is the most noisiest thing. He's like, ever. Puts out bad power, puts out all this kind of thing like that. And it was just like, that's sad. But that's what I usually do. And then I'm also a guy that I don't like a lot of links in the chain. So I always test my antennas and stuff beforehand, so I don't have to use a tuner. So I don't have to have all that stuff, because if your tuner fails and you need it for your antenna, you're screwed.
Mm-hmm. True.
So that's kind of.
Sorry, John. I thought we had a pause there for a second. Thank you, Outlaw. Appreciate it.
Randy. Outlaw, appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Outlaw.
I feel like that's me.
Yeah, John, that's a very good point, because we didn't mention tuners. We talked about the radio, but if you just carry something like an Apollo, which is resonant on 4 or 5 bands, one antenna, you can 86 the tuner.
Yeah, and that's the key point, I think. And another thing that people got to do, and I would say, is think of it this way: when you have a multi-band antenna, great, know what is there, but can you trust the SWR meters in the radios? And that was another thing that I always did. So if I'm going to not have a tuner, I will at least bring. I'm partial. I have a rig expert, but at least I have a rig expert to be like, okay, wait a minute.
Wait, what do you have, John? What do you have? Say it again.
Rig expert.
One more time, because I don't think Ape heard you say that.
Well,
you need something easy in the field, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's the other option?
According here we go.
You
God.
could buy one of these bad boys.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about now, John.
Look at this. This one works good.
Well, I mean, that's fine. Oh, yeah, because I totally want to sweat that.
So why aren't you notifying me about these new things?
I think he did a video.
Yeah, but I didn't send a personal invite. I will get the stationary lady to put together one of those origami when you open it up.
Real quick,
Cliff,
thank you very much for becoming a new member. We have a couple of member benefits for you. You get early access to the products that we put out.
I was not involved in that in any way.
I was not either.
Chat room in the Toads Discord, and you get a monthly behind-the-scenes chat with all of us, where you get to either make fun of Don because it's Don comes on the stream, or you can ask us some questions, and we might actually be able to give you a better answer with less squirrels. So thank you very much, Cliff. There is a join button right below our handsome faces here.
We appreciate it. Get to hang out with us in the champagne room.
Don's easy. He usually attacks Jim, though, most of the time. I don't know why.
He's jealous. I'm better looking.
I'm on a trial membership. And then a
trial membership.
Right, it's good for 15 days.
Interesting, Daniel. I got to
like 30 emails, so we're good for a year.
That's weird.
Well, that's I don't know. I that's the biggest thing I think of with field days. And then here in Baldwin, Wisconsin, where I live, it's weird because there's a village ordinance that you cannot attach anything to any village owned tree, even temporary. So you can't I have boulevard trees because there's no sidewalks. So where the sidewalks would be, the village planted trees. It's really nice, not a problem. But I strung up my antenna. First of all, a crazy lady down the neighborhood. That's a different episode. But she went along and thought that my antenna that was 15 feet off the air was a dog runner. So so I strung my dog out, just let it hang, right, and just push it back and forth on there. But they came by and they were like, you can't do it. But I did the whole garden hose thing or whatever. But, so it didn't dig into there. But, yeah, that's a no. So that's going to be your antenna thing. And then the other thing, too, is we got to be respectful, too, to make sure of, when we leave the areas. I will say that. Man, some people leave it a mess.
What about Christmas lights when you're celebrating the birth of our Lord and Savior? You can't put those up in the village trees?
Nope, nothing can be put into village trees at all. The village doesn't even put stuff in the village trees. And they'll even, if you think the leaves are bad or there's a problem with the tree, you actually call them up. They'll come out and they'll, if the leaves are hanging too low, they'll prune them. They take good care of it, but it's no hands off. So it's so it's basically we're trying to do a mast or a pole attached to the truck, and I'm an 80-meter bazooka, that's my antennas. Well, not 80 meters, but I mean bazookas. So what we've done is we've actually used piping to hang it up, and then even some wood, we do a 2-meter bazooka. It's so cool, so cute, dude. We just kind of attach it to a piece of wood and stick it up in the air, and then kind of do it like that. It's pretty awesome.
So what if your cat goes missing? Can you put a missing cat sign in the tree?
I think the cat sounds like it's
a copper nail. Use a copper
SOL.
Nail.
Yeah. So it sucks, but
So it's like you live in your whole village is an HOA, is what I'm hearing.
No, I mean, they do pretty good about it. I understand where they're coming from because, I mean, I've lived other places where people just will like ruin trees and stuff like that and all that kind of jazz and whatever. But I mean, it's where the sidewalks would be. They take care of them. It's not like we put it up, you can't put anything in there and you have to take care of it. Okay, then I'd be a little pissed, but it's not too bad. But we do have parks in town here, and they do allow a lot of stuff to take place in the parks. So I'm actually pretty happy that's a trade-off, I guess.
Yeah, when I moved to this neighborhood, I bought the house specifically because it had an HOA. But now I kind of regret that. But at the time, there's a lot of people around here that leave things like couches on the front porch. No offense to Joe Brett, and they have like appliances out in the yard and stuff like that, or rusted out boats or El Caminos and stuff. And I didn't.
My boat is not rusted out, son. I'm just saying.
I didn't want. I wasn't going to mention names. I just didn't want. My property value is important to me. But
is it the 14-foot Aluminacraft, Jim?
Yeah. When people have like a pontoon boat instead of a back deck, they just park the pontoon boat out back.
No, it's a 23-foot chaparral. So, yeah.
You know what a 14-foot Aluminacraft is in Wisconsin, right?
No.
A sled?
Canadian Navy vessel.
Yeah. That's right.
I've got a 17-foot. It's a West Coaster. It's made by Valco, supposedly.
Hey, Keith.
Very nice.
Haven't used it much. If you do it right, if you do a pontoon, and I've actually seen a guy who did that. He actually had a pontoon up north there, north the Highway 8, and he actually came up with a design on there where he had a windsock into there, and he actually would try to pull out a actual antenna, sort of like he called it as, what did he call it? He called it as Maritime Project Elf Antenna. You know, like they do in the Navy used to do on the submarines. They used to let the Elf antenna out so they'd talk back on the extreme low frequency. He actually designed one that was encased in tubing so he could actually let it hang off and then go out the side of the boat and it wouldn't get wet. And he actually made some interesting contacts with it. I don't have a boat, so.
So at field day up there in Wisconsin and Minnesota and all that, we all like the cheese. Do you take like cheese with you when you go out there? And
everyday carry, man.
Yeah.
John's probably got a 1/4-pound brick in his back pocket right now.
I got a fine Stilton I'm putting out for.
we bring out the charcuterie board. We are sophisticated up here.
That's just a Lunchable for adults, right?
That's right. It's a big Lunchable.
That was a
king size.
That's anger from the housewives who never got their Lunchables right.
Right.
No, field day. We, like I said, I was saying on there. We usually, and well, I just do it all the time. We bring out. I make homemade Italian sausage. We make jalapeno cheddar sausage. Nice. We do baby back ribs. We do. What else have we done? We've done 3 piggies, which is really good for the food, where we core out a jalapeno, stuff it full of apples, then we wrap that in Canadian bacon, and then we wrap that in a filleted out tender pork loin, and then we lattice wrap it with 3 pounds of bacon. And 6 hours.
Yeah, that sounds good, except for the apples. I'd maybe use like a...
Son, I'd hit that like the angry hand of God.
Dude,
no way.
Honestly, with the that's what we also put in... we put in provolone the last time, which seems to be best. And I'll be honest with you, when you cut it in a roll, so it's like that thick, and it's like a big roll like that, almost like a piece of meatloaf. I will tell you what, it blends everything together.
I'll tell you what.
Here we go. We got.
I'll tell you what. You go ahead and have one of them. Mm-hmm.
That's one of the better ones I've heard. We got another James in here, and let me go ahead and hit the thank you. Thanks, James.
That room's going to get big, man.
And Paul, yes, my face lit up. And if yours didn't, you're a vegan. I'm just saying. Everybody's face lit up when he said bacon.
Damn dirty vegans.
Well, he saved bacon till the end, too. Do you notice that, right?
It's because you wrap it on the end. Like we used to
it all together. That's
that sounds... That's the food of the gods that you described, John. I'm driving up to Wisconsin. I will see you Saturday, son.
The only way to make it better would be to have like 2 maple syrup infused waffles as your bun.
No, the bacon is maple flavor smoked. That's the thing.
I agree. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I could stay there.
I'm still saying, Barry. Yes, cut a slice, put it between some waffles. That's the food of the Lord, right there.
We would
I was actually asked if I'm driving down this year to Huntsville, which I don't know yet. I might end up flying, but someone said if I was driving down, they wanted me to bring about a pound of my Italian sausage.
So do you? I mean, you stuff it
I didn't
yourself
know you
at
were
the
Italian.
garage and all that stuff, or?
Oh yeah, we got it. We got the whole big mixer. We mix our own meats. We mix our own spices, and then
Awesome.
we do
I
all
love
that.
Italian
We
sausage.
stuff it, and the best part about doing your own sausage, you can make it short. So we'll make like small Italian sausages for breakfast, and then we can get the smaller casings. And I would tell you, there's nothing like a small Italian sausage breakfast sausage. Like it's like a link, like a regular pork sausage, but it's absolutely amazing. Kids love it and everything. Or we'll go ahead and we'll make a whole sausage roll. We're No, we're not doing Don. Jesus, lutefisk sausage. That's so gross.
Unfortunately, we have
sick.
we may have to ban somebody.
I'm telling you.
Sorry, Douglas. It's been a good ride. It's not me. It's you.
Well, someone else said we've apparently never tried smoked soy. You're correct. That's
Yes.
a true statement. Yep, never have, never will.
What? Oh, what?
I know,
No.
right? I'm trying to process that too.
Well, you have
Yeah, so
smoked soy
in some states, you get the washer and the dryer and the refrigerator and stuff when you buy the house. In Wisconsin, you get all that plus the sausage grinder.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right.
If you buy a mixing bowl, like I forgot which one we got, the big mixing stand, it actually comes with attachments that you can buy to press your own pasta, to grind your own meat, to stuff your own sausage casings. It's
KitchenAid.
a way of life.
You got a KitchenAid.
Is it a KitchenAid? I don't know. My wife
KitchenAid.
bought it. So.
Yeah. It's like a $300 mixer, son. She came on with that thing. I was like, how much that cost? She said, you don't want to know. You still got a
look at all
job?
the
You want to see if you would have made
Still
points
works,
if
too.
you'd bought it.
Yeah, I know.
I won my neighbor's
'Cause I
wife's
did
I bought
pasta
her a vacuum
machine.
cleaner one time. That hurt.
Yeah. The
We
mixer's
had a
better
bet.
than a vacuum cleaner.
But speaking about, in all seriousness, because there was an article I read, so it was pre-COVID, and I forgot where it was, but it was one of those like, man, it's great. We got publicized about amateur radio, but then it was bad because of what it was that some people brought food from for a field day event, and it was like potato salad and macaroni salad, and it was in a warmer climate, and it was left out, and then the next thing you know is people started to get massively ill. Like it was like this big, huge food poisoning kind of thing. So
Sunlight
food-
and mayonnaise, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
but that's good
mayonnaise
for
is-
you to just clean everything out once in a while. You know,
Mayonnaise is
Yeah.
pretty close.
Somebody
to
was
nasty
telling that
anyway.
story where everybody got sick.
Yeah,
I forget who that
it's-
was.
I will tell you, I'd rather have COVID and the flu 10 times before I ever had food poisoning again.
Yeah, amen. I've had food poisoning. It was 3 or 4 days of praying to the gods.
Oh God, yeah. And you don't want to eat afterwards because then you're like going through your mind like, God, what
You're
did
afraid.
I eat? Yeah, what did I eat? Was it the oyster Rockefellers with meatloaf
Right.
that night, or was it the?
Was it the lutefisk I had?
Exactly.
Why would you even bring up lutefisk? I mean, just like
did.
gross.
I know.
Oh.
I don't
I don't
know.
know what it
I'm
is.
I'm sharing what the people are saying, John. Even if he is a little disturbed.
well, okay, cod is a staple of a diet in Wisconsin, right, Tio?
Cod.
It is.
Right.
Cod-
it's-
we eat cod.
Point. Loins.
Friday nights are cod.
Tio
or
loves a
loin.
good cod piece.
I do.
Yeah, I mean it's okay. That's part of Friday nights is your fish fry, and you got to have cod or you got to have some like perch or walleye or something.
And
Saturday
the fire
nights
department's
are
doing
your
the fish fry, right?
Huh?
The fish fry is at the fire station.
No, that's the smelt fry.
The smelt.
That's the
Okay.
smelt fry.
Okay.
Fish fries are at the bars, and then you have your old fashions. Then the next night you have the prime rib on Saturday night and the old fashioned. But lutefisk is cod soaked in what is it? Is it
Piss. I mean, it's just
no? It's like I forgot what it's soaked in. I'm sure someone's gonna
Warm
be there.
piss?
What is it? Someone's got to know this.
I'm not a Wisconsin native. I can't help you on this one, John.
yeah, it's lye. They're saying
It's
Yeah,
lye.
that's
Yeah.
like
I was
soap.
thinking it
Lye.
was sodium hydroxide.
Lye.
Yeah.
and there is not enough salt and butter in the world, along with olfactory overload, to eat lutefisk. There's not. So sorry.
Yeah, they make it in like Scandinavia or whatever. Don't they like hang the stuff out in the sun and let it fester for days and days on end?
A lot of the native Alaskan people have something similar with whale.
Oh, that's seal. Yeah.
Whale or seal blubber.
They bury it and let it ferment.
Yes.
But that might be good.
Yeah, because I want 7-week-old blubber that's been under the
frozen tundra.
Fermented foods are the best.
Someone once talked about dried fish in some of like Scandinavians, or like we have a lot of Native American reservation land up here, so they'll do these things where they'll dry out fish and stuff like that. And someone's like, "Well, you don't like dried out fish, you like beef jerky?" And I'm like, "Whoa, now you're crossing lines there, man. That's
right.
No, that's nope.
Salmon jerky, that's good stuff too.
I've had good, fish jerky, like salmon jerky. That's good.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's a thing I would want to try.
It's all about the seasonings.
You just gotta
I'm
smoke
spoiled
it,
because
right?
where I grew up,
Actually.
Jack Link's was 20 minutes away from me, so it was like we got the stuff before it was good.
Don't you eat like that summer sausage up there though? Isn't that real big?
Oh yeah.
Oh god,
Yeah, that's good.
Oh my god, you got summer sausage up the wazoo.
I don't really like it.
What?
I don't know why. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
Right. I just don't like it that much.
But okay, you're buying probably the Pepperidge Farm or
that guy. We're done.
Yeah. He's
Was it
gone, we
me?
can't no, you're probably even Pepperidge Farm, or what's the other one that's out there? The
Johnsonville or whatever.
Johnson.
Yeah, it's like a sampler pack or something like that.
Yeah, no, you
Did
got
you get that at Costco? I mean, son.
You gotta get
Probably
the
got it
boar's
on
head.
Amazon.
Or up here it's Christ Bar or something.
Yeah.
Boar's
Head's good stuff if you can find it.
Oh, venison summer sausage. You know what?
Hell yes.
That's the other thing we have. We actually in Wisconsin, you got to remember, we're the meat kings up here because we actually have it that you can actually get absence from school for a whole week over Thanksgiving to go deer.
9-day deer opener. That's right. Everything shuts down.
Yep. Minimum staffing, even on the service.
But y'all eat organ meat over there too, right? I mean, isn't that like a big thing? Like
offal?
Yeah.
Like liver and kidney.
You got to bite the heart and rub the blood on your face.
Oh, the heart's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't eat no organ meat. Liver. Now, growing up in Northern Illinois, my mom, my grandparents all loved liver.
Oh, liver and onions.
Yeah.
Kevin got Hickory Farms.
I'd rather pick dinner out of the trash bag than eat liver. I hate liver. It's nasty.
Heavy on the onions. That's what makes good liver and onions is onions.
Yeah, without the liver in it.
Just hold the liver. I'll take the onions.
Hold the liver. Mm-hmm. Now, deer sausage is a big thing down here. A lot of guys, when they get their deer processed, they'll have a lot of them will make sausage out of it. And I got one of my guys is a hunter, a big time hunter, and he's always bringing in deer sausage for us.
Well, it's funny that you say that because I noticed like Minnesota, Wisconsin, people make tons of deer sausage, venison sausage, everything like that. Then you kind of get around Kentucky and Tennessee. The next biggest spot I actually see is Texas. I see a lot of stuff down in Texas down there.
But Texas, don't they have those goofy deer? They're like they're not whitetails, right? Aren't they the
mule deer? Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't
mule
know.
deer or something like that.
Miniature.
No, they're small here in Alabama. Because our deer season here is like one per day, 3 or 4 in possession. And deer season starts in November and ends in February. What, John?
You got a lot of bear down there too, don't you? You go bear hunting a lot down there?
No, we don't hunt bears. There are black bears running around down here. Gator is a big thing. You have to get a tag for gator, and then they have an organized gator hunt down in Mobile, Baldwin counties once or twice a year.
I prefer to not eat reptiles or amphibians.
I would prefer not to be anywhere near something that can crunch me whole. So,
but a lot of the chokes Chuck. Chuck's done. He's done. He can't handle the gator.
Right, making him sick.
I mean, you go hunting gator. Civilization ends right at the waterline, and your ass is not at the top of the food chain. Okay, just saying. Deer is not going to eat me. Gator, that's a whole another story.
But a lot of the smoking groups I'm on and stuff like that, because we share a lot of good recipes and stuff like that. Everybody down south, they said the best thing you can ever have is smoked gator. No, they've sent me recipes on here's how you do it. And
I've had it. It's okay.
Yeah, no.
Just okay.
I've had it. It tastes like chicken. I mean,
But see, I would just eat the chicken. So I was
Right.
at a seafood place, and they were selling gator fillets, and they were $8.99 a pound. They also had chicken, even though it was a seafood place, and his chicken was $7.99 a pound. And I said, "Look, son, what's this gator taste like?" And he goes, "It tastes like spongy chicken." I'm like, "I would
Yeah.
rather just buy non-spongy chicken for $1 less a pound."
it's a pretty neutral taste, and it just takes on. It's like eating chicken breast. It has no flavor until you add something to it. And I'm
They're all
with you.
down there in the mud and
We're just
all that.
yeah, and they're eating dead bodies that the mob threw in the bayou.
Yeah,
No, I'm
yeah,
not eating that. Mm-mm. That could be my cousin Vinny that gator was eating. So no. Mm-mm. I mean, it's like you said, it costs more and it doesn't taste any better than chicken. So
Well, now, if you guys would come out to CPAC, you could have some delicious seafood. But
Yeah, maybe we'll
Man.
have to do that.
I
That's a
almost
Chuck
went.
thing.
I almost went, except that my weekend was already planned for me that weekend. I told my wife, and she's like, "What?" I go, "Well, I told
CPAC
him I
is a
couldn't go."
blast,
Is
and
it?
it's so beautiful out there. Oh
Where is that, in Portland?
no, it's actually
Washington.
in Seaside, Oregon. Right out. It's about an
Oregon?
hour and 20 through the mountains from Portland, but it's right on the Pacific coast, and all the clam chowder you can eat, and yeah, it's great. It's great out
But do you
there.
like the red chowder or do you like the cream based?
Out there they did a really good cream base, but I'm a soup and stew kind of guy, so I like the red or the Manhattan clam chowder.
Yeah.
no.
Not
New
me.
England clam chowder, the cream based stuff.
Have you ever had?
Yes.
Ever tried
Yes.
good Manhattan?
Yes. I just
No,
didn't
he
like
hasn't.
it.
He's lying. I can tell. I can tell by the fogging up on your
It's full
glasses.
of
You ain't
tomato
being
sauce. I don't want to eat it. I don't
No,
like
see,
it.
that's the thing. You don't get a tomato. You got to get a light tomato base, and it's almost like a borderline soup stew. It's
Like a
not
bisque.
Yeah, I
not as
know.
tough.
It's like a bisque.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
No.
I mean, it's okay. It doesn't offend me. I'll eat it if it was the only thing there was to eat. You know,
How
and,
about
Jim,
cream
Jim
of
went to
crab and
Wendy's.
and my dried out bag of airline peanuts was empty. I'd eat the Manhattan clam chowder. But I like New England style better.
He won't get clam.
Put you up on a pedestal, man, and then all of a sudden it's just
Right. He
I didn't
he
say
ate
you're
at Wendy's.
wrong for liking it. It's not like you're smoking tofu and eating that and telling me it's good, okay? That would be a thing.
okay. Deep fried tofu is pretty good though.
Okay.
Beer batter.
Why?
Yeah.
For the love of God,
It's the
why?
deep fry. It's the deep fry that's good.
Yeah,
It's got all
this
those
is
meat
what you're
juices in
eating,
it
John.
from-
The grease.
Well, it works. I mean, it's protein, right? And then it's like, don't eat so much red meat, says the doctor. Well, the doctor didn't say I can't deep fry my vegetables. Now, did he? No, he didn't.
That's right.
We did that. We did up in Oregon one time, deep fried. They were deep frying everything you could bring over, and cauliflower is surprisingly, it tastes like almost like shrimp when you put the tempura sauce on it there, fry it up. It's like, wow, you could almost fool me with this one. But I had so much indigestion that night, and it's not something I usually get very often.
Today on Cooking and
Wait.
Ham Radios.
Way too much fried food that night, though.
Right.
You go to,
All right,
you go to
well, guys.
some of those places, like the hibachi places, that they do good tofu.
Yeah.
Deep fried green beans. Now,
Oh,
John is
that would
on
probably be
point with
good.
that. Those are
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Or fried
It's the
pickles.
deep
whoa.
fry. It's the
Whoa.
deep fry that's good.
Jim, what did you say?
Deep
Don?
fried green beans.
Don was
No,
on
he said Don was right.
point.
Yeah.
Don
Yeah.
is right a
He
lot
said
of
Don
times.
was
Don
on.
is also
Oh, okay.
high as a kite the other half of the time, too. So, this time he's right.
Oh, okay.
It's that
fried.
geritol. The geritol.
I just
he
want
takes
I
makes
just
him
want
go
Don to
crazy.
get his one
It's
in
early
there.
in the morning. Don's got his meds on board. He's good this morning. We'll probably
fried
argue
okra.
about
I
something
love
later.
fried okra.
No.
That's
Yes.
the only way I like okra.
Fried
though.
okra is awesome. Other than that, you should
Boiled
throw okra
okra
in the
is-
garbage.
Terrible. Slimy.
Slimy, yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Scott with the deep fried Twinkie. I've never
There you
had
go.
that.
That's probably not bad.
Oh, that's a staple of the Minnesota Fair now. All the deep fried foods. You got
Yeah.
Twinkies and candy bars and Oreos.
Deep fried
and
butter.
Butter, yeah. How do you deep fry butter? I didn't make it to the fair last
Right.
year, but I'm just half tempted to go work the fair this year for EMS. And I was
Yeah.
just like, dude, you get all the deep fried food, and I'm like, deep fried butter.
You'll be the one getting EMS'd.
Don't they do pickles too?
Oh,
Yeah,
deep
deep
fried
fried
pickles.
pickles are good.
Fried green tomatoes. If y'all have never had that, I highly recommend.
Yeah, I'm not a tomato person.
Those are
if
great.
You can go ahead and put batter on it. It can be deep fried.
That's right.
The other thing that no one mentioned, and I'll bring it up, and I didn't know about it before I moved down here, boiled peanuts. Holy moly, are those a delicious snack?
Aren't you from Chicago?
Yes, I am from Chicago.
He's from Kankakee.
The bar that had the old Pabst Blue Ribbon sign on it. That was the thing. Boiled
Those
peanuts
weren't
in all the bars.
Those were peanuts. Those weren't boiled peanuts. Not that I remember.
Oh, you were.
I mean, I left home shortly after I got out of the drinking age, but I'm pretty sure there wasn't no boiled peanuts.
Talk about wet and slimy.
But down here now, boiled peanuts are a thing. Boiled peanuts are freaking awesome.
Boiled peanuts. Yeah, they're green though. They're not roasted, right? Like they just take them right out of the ground, rinse them off.
They take green ones and then you boil them and then season them. Usually, you'll either see plain salted or Cajun, and they're awesome. Cajun boiled peanuts is pretty much awesome. Every football game you'll be at in the South has boiled peanuts. Every gas station sells fried chicken.
I don't know about wet
and
peanuts.
boiled peanuts.
I don't know about that.
Don't forget slimy.
They're awesome. Boiled peanuts are great.
You should get
Guys,
some
we've
for
hit the end of the
people
show. We appreciate all y'all staying with us today as we squirreled around and actually talked about our topic a little bit. Field day is next Saturday. We'll probably talk about this once or twice on Nuggets. I would assume Monday night. I don't know what we're doing on Nuggets yet. Steve probably doesn't know either.
Yeah. No. We actually, so last week we did the Hack RF1 and the PortaPack, and then one of the viewers sent in another Hack RF1 and PortaPack that works. So now we get to figure out how to, what's actually wrong. We determined that it was the LCD screen. Now we get to see if we're right.
Okay. And then I'm not sure what's on the schedule for Thursday night yet.
We're having the mustache guy on. Vince from Canadian Vince.
That's right, Canadian Vince.
We're going to talk about going bags.
Okay, there you go. All right, y'all, I'm hitting the button. John, thanks for showing up. Appreciate you.
Thanks, John.
Thanks for having me.
Bye.